Hey everybody, Comic Crack, and cheers. Yeah. So, today was our big comic convention. Today was also Lillian's birthday, 2 years old. We had a great day. I think she had a lot of fun. We went to my parents for just a small family birthday type party. We're having a big birthday party for her in a couple of weeks. But it was a great day, so we went to the convention. It was also her first year of going out trick-or-treating last night as well too, which was a hell of a lot of fun. The weather was beautiful here for once, which is strange on Halloween. So we were out for probably close to an hour and a half. It was a great time. The convention, Sundays, we like to go on Sundays. The crowds are a little less, especially when I'm carting around my daughter as well. It was just me and the kids. Mr. Tom came with us as well. And it was great. We found an out-of-the-way spot behind some booths down a hallway where we could hide our big stroller and jackets. Took all our money and wallets and valuables with us and walked around from there, so it was pretty good. One thing that I think has changed since the last time I took Mr. Tom, it's been 2 years since I've taken Mr. Tom, I believe, and I swear that I had to pay for him the last time. This time it was free. They start to charge you when you reach 13 years of age, and then I think on a Sunday it's $15 for a kid 13 to 16 or 13 to 17, and then it's $20 for adults. So that was a nice surprise because I only paid 20 bucks, which is still a little steep, but I understand, and it's better than what I expected. The other thing that surprised me this year, even compared to last year, there was so few comic sellers there. It's always been, as anybody who knows who's gone to a bigger convention, they usually become more than just comics. They have the celebrities. Ours has a couple of huge t-shirt booths that take up. There's one was there last year as well too. It takes up such a huge space on the floor. It's so ridiculous. It's so overpriced, and it looks like it's like a story high. And then there's another one that's not as high, but it still takes up a lot of space too, that just sells t-shirts. And the prices at them were 2 shirts for $50. If you bought one, it came to 30 something dollars, 30 and some change. Mr. Tom was looking at the t-shirts. As much as it kind of clamped me, I let him look for a little while and then gave him an ultimatum of like, okay, we gotta go, because I'm not spending my whole time at the comic convention looking at overpriced t-shirts and other such crap. And he didn't end up buying one. He had some spending money. I think he had around $30. So he didn't have enough for a shirt, and honestly, I didn't want to give him the rest of the money for a shirt. I wanted him to look at comics. I didn't want him to kind of blow his load and then be bored the rest of the time. I wanted him to be interested. I wanted him to pick up comics because we'd talked about it and he was excited to go, and he was excited this time to dig through some comics. So I wanted to keep him focused on that, and basically told him any shirts that he sees we can find online. We can always order that stuff online. Let's go look at comics and toys and that sort of thing. And then we spent the rest of the time digging. So the other thing that I will say is a couple of the places that I did end up buying comics from, I've seen them at the smaller convention, the one at the Viscount Gort down by my place here in town. And that's the one that I prefer. So there wasn't much of a point to go to the big convention to then buy from the guys that I buy from anyway. Now, I say that, but there was one place that I went to last year as well, and it had 50% off sale, as they always do. when they come to the convention, and they've got some fantastic books, and a lot of the books I picked up, actually, or a good chunk of them anyway, are from that one vendor. And I passed on quite a few things. One of the things that I saw right at the end was a Richard Corbin book. It was thick. It was a soft, excuse me, it was a soft cover, but it was a substantial soft cover, and it was $50. And I asked if that was part of the sale, and they said, unfortunately, magazines and stuff like that were not part of the 50% off sale. So as great as it looked, I've never seen it before. I passed on it because I just can't. I can't justify $50 on one book. If it was $25, I probably would have bought it, but no way in hell. So I had quite a bit of luck. I mean, I found some things that I've been looking for a long time. You probably won't be surprised at the stack. It's pretty much what I always go for. I find going to this big convention, I don't end up browsing too much. I don't end up going through all the aisles and every box and that sort of thing. I go with a couple of specific goals, and I just stick to those goals. And for this big convention, honestly, I find that works the best. For the smaller one, I mean, I'm always looking for certain books anyway, or certain characters anyway, and I usually end up buying some of theirs. But at the smaller convention, it's more laid back. There's less people. I like to browse through all the boxes then. I like to really take my time. But this one gets a little stressful, especially with two kids in tow. But I will say that both kids were phenomenal today. They were... I don't know. I mean, I just consider myself really lucky sometimes. Mr. Tom is a great guy. He's such a good kid. He really watches out for his sister. He had a lot of fun digging through books. He picked himself up some pretty good ones that he's pretty excited about. And Lillian just was a treat for the most part. I mean, she had her moments right at the beginning where she wanted out and she just wanted to run around. But once I kind of talked to her and explained the situation and she got her kind of footing, she did fantastic. She was really friendly with the vendors. The vendors loved her. I think that probably helped too, because a lot of these, even though I got the discount, I also asked for, there was one place, for example, $44. I have 40, is that okay? So they knocked off a few more bucks for me, and I think the kids definitely helped that. Not that I was using them for that, it's just they were naturally, I'm just lucky to naturally have just fantastic kids, as everybody does. But anyway, enough about that. Let's refocus this camera and we'll look at some books. We'll start off with the books that Mr. Tom bought. He had enough money for 4 books, and he walked out with some money in his pocket still. All right, here's Mr. Tom's books. I've seen these once or twice. I don't see them that often, but he found 3 of them and just zeroed right in and said, these are the ones that I want. He had a very, very short list of some books that he was looking for, but they were really key books, first appearances of a few characters, that sort of thing. I was hoping, in the back of my mind, with conventions like this, you always hope for reader copies or reader grade, but there wasn't even that. The ones that he did find were really, really expensive. So unfortunately he didn't walk out with any of those, but I think he's really happy with these. So this is Dr. Doom and the Savage Submariner Supervillain Team Up. This is number 8. Battle Beneath the Big Top, Namor versus the Crime Circus. So that's one of his there. And then he got number 3 of Dr. Doom and the Savage Submariner. The prices that are on these are pretty much what he paid. 10, 11. I think the guy discounted him a couple of dollars. $2 or $3 off these 3 comics, which was good. But even though I don't think that the prices were out of this world, $5 and $4, I don't think is too crazy. They're in decent enough shape. So there's a look at that cover. And then the final one he got, which was a bit of the pricier one, but it's in really nice condition for the most part. Number 2. Two of Marvel's mightiest together again, Doctor Doom and the Savage Submariner. So there you go. Those are those three, the supervillain team up. So those will be fun. I think he's looking forward to those. And then I had pointed these out to him before because he I think he got a little bit bummed that he didn't find the books that he was looking for. One of the places had a stack of these collector's item classics. And I said, hey, have a look through these. These reprint a lot of these origin stories. They reprint some of these really old ones. The prices are a little better. This one was $7. This one he did pay $7 for. This guy does this interesting thing. He puts the Overstreet price and then your price. And I know that Garrett, Comic Guy Rules, this is his guy that he always goes to, and I've bought from him before too at the small convention. I've followed through on a couple of them. I'll have a look at this one too to see if it is in, although I don't have the newest, have the year before, the year previous's collector. What am I trying to say here? I have the previous year's Overstreet guide, so we'll see how much that matches, but it's an interesting way to sell. Here's what it is in Overstreet, overprice. And then here's your price. So this one has a Fantastic Four, number 16. A Doctor Strange story from Strange Tales. Incredible Hulk, and a Tales of Suspense. So he's pretty excited about this one. He really is about collecting these origins and stuff. He really wants to do that. There were these first appearances and things like this. So it's kind of exciting right now with him. I mean, it's always been exciting reading comics with him, but specifically right now, he really is interested in these old books, which is fantastic. He seems to really enjoy them, and he's getting into the collector side of it, you know what I mean? Like, he wants to own copies of these old books for himself to have. So there we go. So that was Mr. Tom's. Onto my stack after a sip here. This first one has kind of been on a list of mine for quite a while. And I think this series, I don't remember exactly why, to be honest, but I do know that the cover is amazing. It's the only one that I saw. This particular place had a 60% off sale. So this one was $8, priced at $8, so it was what, $3.50, $3.75, whatever that turns out to be. Really good deal. It's in really nice shape as well. Spaceman, I don't know the number. It says, does that say number 18? The guy's chicken scratches are really, really brutal. So this place, it was an interesting story. I ended up only buying 2 comics from him. I had a stack of comics. He had signs all over the place, 60% off, except there was a few boxes with key issues where they were as priced. So once I found that out, I stopped looking through those boxes. Then I walked around and I found the Daredevil box, and he had quite a few, and especially priced as they were, I got pretty excited, like, wow, 60% off of this price. So I had picked a stack of them. Then the woman who was working with him, I overheard her talking to somebody else who was coming to pay, and she said to him, if it says, if it has an ND on that little ticket, then it doesn't count towards the 60% off. Then it's as priced. And of course, I start looking at all the books that I've now picked up and picked through and have a stack waiting to go. And I think they say ND, so I bring them over to her and show her before I continue digging. And of course, they all are ND. So I put them all back and I walked out with just these 2 books. So I was a little pissed off at that. That's kind of a cheap fucking ploy, having all these signs all over the place. I went and looked at the sign. I didn't see on the signs that it said if it's marked with ND, that means it's not part of the deal. So that's a little bit of bullshit right there. I don't think I would buy from this person again. But this one I couldn't pass up. This was, like I said, this one was part of the sale. And it was the only one of this Spaceman series that he had, and I was just really curious about it. And for that price, I didn't have a problem with it. I also bought one more book from him, which I'll show you later. I'll probably remember it'll have the sticker on it. But he had a selection of like Dell books, and I'm not very knowledgeable on Dell or Gold Key. I just know that there's a few titles, and I think it's a Gold Key title, X, The Man with X-Ray Eyes, that I've been looking for a long time. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, and when I found out that there was a comic adaptation of it, it's always been on my radar, and this seemed like a place where it might be. It wasn't there, but it was worth the hunt. So there you go, Spaceman. And the one that I can't believe, this was the last issue that I needed in this Doctor Strange run, and I have been looking for this issue for a long damn time. Issue number 34, A Midsummer's Nightmare. I haven't researched exactly what it is about this issue, but it has been impossible to find. I've seen, you know, every time I see Doctor Strange, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, this one is always missing. This one was from the 50% off bin as well. So $5 for this one is a fantastic price, and especially even if it was $10, I would have bought it anyway. Like I said, because this was the last one that I need. I now have this entire Doctor Strange run. And I've read quite a big chunk of it before. I'll probably end up digging it all out, getting a short box just for this series and putting it by my bed and go through this entire series again and read the whole thing. So that was one of the major scores for me. I was really excited to see this book. And even at the convention, when I was looking through Doctor Strange at other booths, nobody had it. This was the only copy that I saw there today. It doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't more copies yesterday or Friday, but I got my freaking hands on it. And speaking of Doctor Strange, how about this one, number 183. Again, any sticker with that, any big sticker with a price on it, I paid half of that. Which again, $10, like $20 for a book, I can't quite justify it. It depends. I know I'm going to get to a point where that's what's going to be left for me. But for $10, I can't say no. I am one of the people, the rare people who love this Doctor Strange costume, as odd as it is. I really like it, and I love the covers on these ones as well. This one's in, you know, not the greatest shape, but if you know me and my channel, I'm not super concerned. There is a piece missing right there. This corner is pretty fucked up. The spine is pretty shitty, but I'm fine with that. I have Doctor Strange number 183. And I have Doctor Strange number 182 with another pretty great cover with the Juggernaut, again with that costume. So this one was as priced $6. So he claims that Overstreet has it at 12. His price was $6. Sounds great to me. I think the small stack that I bought from this guy too, the guy I was dealing with, I think knocked $5 off my total as well, because I think it came to $65 worth of comics. 64 or 65, and he just said, we'll just make it 60. I didn't even ask, he just offered right out. So there we go. Number 173, so this was from that place as well. And I saw it says, I think that's $8 Canadian. But I mean, I know you can't quite make that out because of my focus, but the little scratches and the little shit he's got written there, it's hard to discern anything. I think it says $6 US, $8 Canadian. But this was one that wasn't part of the 60% off. But for $8, I was fine with that. This one, you can't tell. It's pretty wrinkly, like as if it got maybe some moisture or something. But I'm okay with that for $8. It's all there. The cover itself isn't in that bad of shape. Number 172, again, the 50% off there. A nice big subscription crease down the middle there, but that's okay. I Dormammu, pretty great cover there. So that's it for the Doctor Stranges, well, minus this one, I guess. A Daredevil annual from 1989. This is annual number 4. It's Daredevil and Spider-Man and guest starring the one and only Doctor Strange. So that's a nice bonus. This one the guy threw in for free. The stuff that wasn't priced I think was $2 or $3 a piece, and if you ended up buying 10 I think you got an extra discount on them. But because I'd bought I think another $40 or $50 worth of books, he just threw this one in for free. It was the only $2 or $3 book that I had in the pile. The rest were stickered, the rest were ticketed. So it was nice enough just to throw that one in for free. And now we get on to the meat of the books here, and these ones I'm excited about. So here we go. Is anybody surprised? It's Daredevil, number 174, Elektra and the Gladiator. This is another one that has I just have had a hell of a time finding, and for obvious reasons. Elektra is in it, the Gladiator's in it. Fighting an army of assassins. I'm pretty excited about this book. So with this book, I think now I have from about issue number 165, maybe 64. I might have from like issue 160 all the way through to 300 now, with these next few books that I managed to find. This was from a place that it was stickered, so this one was $8. It wasn't a 50% off sale or anything, but because I bought a stack, again, I made him an offer, and he took it, and it was an extra $5 off of it or something like that. So number 174 in my collection. Number 166 in my collection, 8 Bones, more Gladiator. Great stuff. I'm really, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say about Daredevil anymore. I just get so excited when I see them. Number 165 in my collection, another $8 book. Doc Ock on the front there. I just love it. I absolutely love it, and it really feels like I'm something coming up that I didn't notice before. It really feels like I'm zeroing in on my Daredevil books. I don't know how many I'm up to now, but I've got to be at least 200 of the first 300 I now have in my collection. So I love it. I absolutely love it. There was tons of Daredevil there too. If I did go back to this convention again, oh, what did I do here? Okay, so we'll ask about that. Looks like some sort of reprint. Oh, shitty. Well, anyway, if I did go back to this convention again, I think what I would do was maybe save up and use this convention as a chance to buy some big books. This one I didn't see until right now. 164. It's blank, and it says not for resale. Marvel. Looks like the Twin Towers on there. So what the hell is this about? If anybody will know, it would be Nick, ETA Nick. Are you watching? Can you tell me about this issue? What have I bought here? Is this how all the issue 164s are? Is this some sort of reprint for charity? Is this... what the hell is this? So that big sticker means that it was 50% off, so $5 for this one. Has a rip up there, but well, shit. That's okay. I'll find out about it. I don't know if maybe this was how it was always issued, but I doubt it because it doesn't have the price there. So anyway, 164. 163, Beware the Hulk. Pretty fantastic cover there too. $12 book. This was as ticketed. And that's, you know, honestly, that's kind of pushing my limits as far as what I'll pay for books. $12 makes me mildly uncomfortable. $8 to $10 is right in my comfort zone. 159, Marked for Death. Pretty great cover there too. 144, Man Bull Breaks Out. He said the only way I'd leave this prison was over your dead body, and you were right. Boom, take that. Fantastic. Almost a little bit of Watchmen up there. Yeah, there you go, 144. 137 for $5. Not in horrible shape either, this one. Pretty good for $5, I'd say. And then we move on to 133. A city in danger and only one man can help. The most shocking guest star of all, the incomparable Uri Geller. No matter which way you turn, Daredevil, you can't escape Mindwave and his fearsome think tank. Boom, look at that. Forget about it. Number 126 is now in my collection for $5. The Torpedo, Triumph of the Torpedo. Another one that's in fairly decent shape. Great cover on this next one. This one really did push my boundaries, but I couldn't resist. This one was $15. I've unmasked you at last, but it can't be. It can't. Daredevil is Matt Murdock. Amazing in the midst of life. Fantastic cover. Number 57, if I didn't say it already. 57, people. Number 57. Oh, shoot. What's this one? 51. Number 51. People, number 51. Another fantastic cover. I love these old books. They're so great. Number 48. Here Comes Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, and Stiltman. Again, $10 book here, people. 50% off. It's in great shape too, actually, for $10. Tilting up so I don't ruin any surprises here. This one is number 30, and this was $8. Guest starring the mighty Thor. My battery is running out here, so if it does die, I will be back. Number 29 for $9. The Man Without Fear Unmasked. So great, so great. 1967. Number 22 for $9. The Tri-Man Lives. Look at that cover. That's unbelievable. It's so great. Here Comes Daredevil. And the last couple we might actually make it through. Number 21 for, again, $9 stinking dollars. The Trap is Sprung. Look at that. Unbelievable. I couldn't wait to shoot this during the day, so that's why I'm shooting it now, and some of the light maybe isn't the best. This would probably look way better in the daytime, but I couldn't help it. And then I saw this and I couldn't resist it. The King Size Special, number 1, $9, a 25 center, not a single reprint, all new. Electro and His Emissaries of Evil, featuring a 39-page slam bang action thriller, plus features, pinups, and a mixed up meeting with Stan and Jean. So that's pretty fantastic. The first king size annual for $9. So yeah, what the hell, hey? That's the books, my friends. Love it, absolutely love it. Yeah, like I said, the convention doesn't blow me away, all the toys and all the other bullshit that's there is kind of frustrating, to be honest. When you have to hunt for the comic booths, it's a pain. So I think the majority of my time will be spent at the Viscount one. The place that had the big fat stickers on it, though, that would be the only reason that I would come back to, that would be one of the only reasons I would ever go back to that convention, because I really like those guys. All the guys that I dealt with there, who came and checked in on me because I had 2 kids, one in my arms and one kind of wandering around. They were really nice, really helpful. I was really impressed, and it was the same thing when I dealt with them last year. I was really impressed as well. They were just really nice people and willing to, you know, like even just throwing in a $2-3 book. I know it's not much money, but I don't know, that kind of stuff goes a long way, like offering that kind of thing and helping me out when I needed it and that sort of stuff. So, and they're the place that last year had Daredevil #1 for like $700 or something. So they always have some really, really killer books. And they don't have a store in town. They're kind of independent and online, so they only do the convention. I would go and deal with them every time. Yeah, so maybe next year is the year where I save up and buy some really big books, like really save up through the year into some sort of savings account specific for this convention, and maybe show up with a fat wad of cash and buy myself some really nice key books, maybe within like the first 20 Daredevils, you know, try to get some higher grade ones or something. Because that's the other thing, from looking, I've kind of reached my limit on the amount of books that I'm going to find when we get that low or that early in the run. There's not that many that are left for $9, $10, $12, $15. They were $80, so 40% or 50% off, still a $40 book. They were $100, there was $200. You know, but generally they were around $80 to $100, so $40 to $50 per book. And those ones weren't even fantastic grades, you know what I mean? Those ones were even reader copies. So I'm entering that zone now. If I do really want to collect these first 300, I'm in that zone of within that first 100 books where I'm going to need to drop some change, I think, on these. But we'll see. Who knows what you can find. I've been pretty lucky so far. So yeah, enough of me babbling. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.